Welcome to a brand new episode of Passt X Balestier Khalsa. Pardon the slight delay, about 6 minutes. And with me, I've got Kel. How are you doing, Kel?
Doing great, doing great. It's football season again for the European side of things. So
Yeah,
really happy to be able to watch more football. Alongside the local football, we can watch international football, European football. So looking forward to that. How are you doing,
yeah.
Russ?
Not too well. I don't know if you can make it out from my voice, but I'm not too
I thought you
feeling
were
good.
just giving. I thought you were just giving out like a sexy voice these days.
No,
um,
I've
having the
got the
sniffles.
flu and sore throat. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's bugging me. But anyways, the show has to go on, right? And also got to say, this week onwards, we will not have Joel on the show anymore. He's gone back to his old show. But anyways, Joel, thanks a lot for all the help that you have given us and your support, your time, effort, and everything in this time with us on Back Pass. And
We wish you all the
no,
best.
yeah, we wish you all the best. And also, I think he's also a Ballistic Khalsa fan, so we would see him at the stadium, and I think we give him one proper. It's I think he got to say a goodbye to everyone as well. So hopefully catch you at the stadium soon, Joel. Hopefully we're watching this as well. So, anyways, today we've got a coach that I have been really very eagerly waiting to speak to. Let me just bring him in. It's Mr. Razif Ariff.
Hi,
How you doing, Razif?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm,
Well, thank you, thank
as you
you.
know, I'm not too good, but yeah, besides that, all good.
That's a very straight. I'm not too good, but actually, you know what? Before
I'm
you
good.
came, Raz, I almost cleared the whole questionnaire with Razif already.
Damn.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I was trying my best not to ask him any
Yeah.
questions, but we actually had a few nice discussion, I would say, and Razif looks like it's going to be a good show today.
Hopefully.
Yeah. All right, Razif. First
Yeah.
of all, when you were appointed, and then all this announcement came up on social media, and I took a look at it. They say that you are the performance analyst. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So what exactly does a performance analyst do?
Okay. For me at Balestier, my roles are break down into four parts lah. So,
Okay.
firstly is on based on the training videos. So, in terms of trainings, we do filmings on the trainings, and then after training, we do a review on the style of plays that we are working on, and then of course in terms of improving players' performance on the pitch, and then are they doing the style of play that we want them to do? And then, of course, by showing this to the players, we get feedback, and then we try to improve the players based on the training for that week. First part. Then the second part, when we go towards the game, my job is to analyze the opponents in detail.
Oh,
So we prepare for the games, the style of play the opponents are playing, the formations, key players, what are the key movements that the opponents are doing. So these are broken down into details, and then to present to the head coach, Coach Akbar. And then from then on, we prepare our trainings catering towards that game.
mm,
And then in the game, during the game, I have a live feed where I
Oh,
connect the cameras down to the bench, where we
okay.
can have a tactical view of the games itself. So this helped me and the team in terms of shaping our performance on the pitch. In terms of are we in line with the formations, in line with the style of plays that we are doing? Are players in their positions? Are they off positions? So all this help us in terms of preparations as the game goes on live.
Is this the
And
same
then
live feed that we get on TV and
Yeah,
YouTube?
are you watching that
no,
same thing, or
no,
it's a
no.
different camera altogether, or it's the same
Yes,
camera?
it's a different camera where we get a
Ah,
full view of the pitch itself. So we have a
Okay,
good tactical
who's
view
manning
of
the
the whole
camera?
game. Is the staff that we have to help out with the cameras movement of
is
up in
it
the stand.
will it be more helpful for you if you like send a drone up and then get a drone view
Yeah,
of
I wish
like
we
the
can have the drone lah, but I think in Singapore, you need a license, a permit to
license
get the
to?
drones up.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
so
Oh,
that's the
that's
difference lah.
interesting.
And also
That's
drones can
interesting.
just last you about 20-30 minutes.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
right,
Yeah,
right, right,
yeah,
right.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
you were saying, so you have the last part now.
yeah. So
yeah.
the last part is post game. So we do review based on how the game outcome goes along, and then it's also based on the reviews on how we train for the week. So does the player perform as what we have been training? Do the players follow the instructions, or in terms of style of play, are we in line with our objective of what we want to do this season? And then, of
Right.
course, in terms of improving the players' performance, we do look at individual performance and then trying to improve them as we go along game for game.
Okay, and just curious, how do you get this job at Ballistic Khalsa?
Oh, actually, when at the end of last year, I was looking for a team, a sports team, to work on my final year degree project.
Okay.
So it was on a off season, early pre-season phase. So I
Mm.
spoke to Coach Akbar, and he was saying, "Hey, why don't you just come over, because we are doing our early pre-season way
Oh,
ahead of
right.
the other clubs."
Mm.
So I say, okay, that'll be good because I say before that, I might want to go into a netball team or floorball team to look into
Okay.
how off season, pre seasons are working for other
Okay.
sports. So
Okay.
and then because it's football is linked to what I want to do, so
Mm.
it's much more easier. So Coach Akbar and Mr. Darwin invited me over and then gave me that platform that I can work with the players using the GPS fit together stuff, and then looking at how players perform in off season and towards to the early preseason.
Mm.
So from
So
there
is
on,
that,
then yeah.
yeah?
So
Carry on.
from there, I got that job only maybe probably late December after I get to know that my contract at Gelang is not being renewed lah. So
Okay.
they offered me that opportunity lah to come in to
All right.
Balestier.
Oh,
So are the players using a lot of technology during the training sessions? Are they like, do you have the GPS sensor, GPS tracking, right? Nowadays they track
Mhm.
the distances covered by players. Do they have all that technology with them?
Yes, yes. We at the club use the fit together that was provided by the FA, so that
Okay.
we can track the players' performance. So it'd be good for us that how much we are loading them in trainings, and then how much we can accumulate their total distance run for the whole week, so we
Mm.
can gauge their output, running outputs for the whole week. So in terms of preparations for the game, then at least we can look at how much the players have total up accumulated for that week before we go into the big game.
Okay.
Mm.
And besides this, is there any other role you carry out at Ballistic Khalsa at the moment?
At the moment, I think I'm just assisting Coach Akbar for the assistance role and doubling up as a performance analyst lah.
All
So
right.
my role now is actually to to give a feedback to the players as we go along to the last round of the season. So what we are creating now at Balestier is that we have a player passport where we look at their performance throughout the seasons, and then this last phase is important for us also. Is that how we want to improve the players, and then if looking at the next season, what can be improved on the players' part if they are looking to step up again their game for next season. So we
Okay.
create a timeline base for the players lah. So my role now is looking into that part.
All right. All right. Cool. So
Mhm.
yeah, Kel, of course, we've had some conversations about the way the season has
mm,
panned out for Balestier Khalsa. It's not been great. I mean, to be honest, it's not been great. I think
Yep.
probably a bit underwhelming and disappointing based on our expectations and what we have been told from the start of the season as well. So I think you've got some questions for Razif, right?
yeah. Razif, just before I start, I just wanna check if you. I mean, you're doing all these cool stuff. You know, technology. You're watching the players. You have all these real data points for the team. for the players individually. Do you speak to the players about this on an ongoing basis, maybe on a weekly basis, on what happened and how they can improve their game? I think you mentioned briefly something. Do you do that, and how receptive are they um, on this information?
For us at Balestier, what we did is that we do have a video reviews for the
Okay.
players where we call either individual players or by the units or by team to actually share with them on how we can improve ourselves in terms of performance wise. And then with the players, Coach Akbar does a lot of that sharing with the players in terms
Mhm.
of technical part of the games. So
Yeah.
like in pre-seasons, we do a lot of the technical parts in instilling to the players. This is what we want to create you into a player of
Yeah.
what Balestier wants to play or how Balestier wants to play. So
Right.
at the start of the seasons, yeah, there's a lot of videos sharing being done in terms of learnings, and then in terms of executing the style of plays that we want to create. Then, like
Right.
from now onwards, yeah, from the mid seasons onward, that we do a lot of sharings in terms of based on the videos that we had, and then calling in individual players in terms of doing corrections for them. And then we do
Oh,
have like individual sessions lah in the
right. Right.
extra trainings for the players in
And
terms of
how
improving
receptive?
what they like.
How receptive are they? Are they like grasping this knowledge, or what is happening? Because like you do see, you do expect some improvement, um, but how frustrating it could be for yourself. Analyzing the game and letting them know about the play and what to expect, and then seeing mistakes on the field. It could be quite frustrating for you, isn't it?
I think for us that what we agreed on is that in terms of learnings, that there are cycles where they have to learn, and
Right.
it cannot be uh, s- expressed like an expressway where you can get
Right.
results straight away. So
Right.
for us, we work on a 6 week planning programs
Right.
where when if we want someone to learn, we give them 6 to 8 weeks to actually learn. Yes, we
Right.
do
Right.
expect them to make mistakes. We do expect them to make mistakes in training and in games. Like what Coach Akbar said, he's okay with players making mistakes, but they have to learn to pick up
Right.
because we are working on a result based is a result based lah in
Right.
what
Right.
we are working. So yes, in terms of making mistakes, players do make mistakes, but
Right.
can we pick that up quickly and then rectify that mistakes for the players?
100%.
Yeah.
And then this actually builds up to my question. Based on your analysis, this entire season played out so
Mm.
far. What are your thoughts on Balestier season um, so far till date?
I think I think we have been doing some good games where you see patches of good performance on the field, but there are also a lot of times that we need to be better. Of course,
Right.
having said that, that one of the things that we are working very hard is to actually improve the players' capabilities in terms of what they are doing. So, like the players that we have at Balestier this season comes from a lot of clubs. So there are a lot of changes for them, getting
Yeah.
into new surroundings, making new friends, making new teammates, and then of course, in terms of patches of performance, is a new thing for the players itself. Because at the start of the season, Coach Akbar told them that everyone will get a chance to showcase what
Right.
you can do. So it gives that little bit of hope for these players that they come to Balestier, they can be very expressive and show us what they got. And then, to be honest, I think this season's, if you look at games, luck has not been on us as much
Yeah.
as luck has been on Tanjung Pagar. So in terms of yeah, in terms of attacking wise and defensively lah. So if you look like for example, uh, LB play against Tanjung Pagar, all the shots that LB took doesn't goes
Yes.
into the net. But when
Right.
LB play against us, every shot goes into the goal. So those kind of things that is happening to us this season,
Yeah.
like I say, luck has not been on our side. But
Do you
in
see
terms
that a
of
lot on
performance,
your video analysis when you're like, oh my god, you look at that, that's the difference.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so
Okay.
we look at the difference. Like 2 weeks ago, we were looking at the games. We are playing Tanjung Pagar. I was
Yeah.
telling Coach Akbar, yes, it's a scrappy game. When we were playing Tanjung Pagar, but the only big difference is just when Rio had the chance, he scored the 2 goals. When we had the chance, we got two
Yeah.
goals on the line cleared. So
Right.
that
Right.
just that part of the games that we have to manage on our side.
Correct. Football
Yeah,
sometimes how how much of
yeah, it can
effort,
be
how much of
correct.
you need that luck, right? You need
Yeah,
that dice of luck to actually sometimes push you over the game.
Yeah.
Okay, based on your experience and based
Before
on
that, wait,
yeah,
let's
sorry.
just give him a question first from one of our viewers. It's
Oh, Madhu
actually,
is in.
yeah, is one of your players. He's asking you, what are the qualities that a football coach need to be successful? I believe it means what qualities a football coach needs for that coach to be successful.
I think for me is you have to be honest with the players in terms of performance on the pitch. I think if you give false hope to the player, then it can lead to a lot of different doorways on how players look at you. Number one. Then number two, in terms of qualities, of course. Uh, Having said that, being honest, we have also to be honest to ourselves as a coach. That for me, as I go through the UEFA courses, like I said, they teach us to be critical of ourselves. So being critical to ourselves actually helps me improve myself as a coach, and
Mm.
that itself helped me to step up in terms of how I have been coaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But you cannot be too harsh on yourself also, it must be like there's must be some kind of balance.
I think
I
yeah, I think that's a bit of difference when I was doing that in the UEFA course, right? So I was
right.
being nice for myself, giving myself a B and A grade, and then it's something just gonna be, stop bullshitting yourself. You can just give yourself a C and a D to improve yourself better.
Right.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm also like that. If you ask me to rate myself, I always give
correct.
myself
Yep.
A.
Yeah, yeah. So that's one thing like I said. The difference between the top coaches in Europe is that they're always very self-critical from themselves. So they do get feedbacks from others, from their mentors and stuff like that to improve themselves in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, just a quick one. What is the best thing you like about Balestier Khalsa, the team as a whole?
Oh, I think this is the first time that in terms of performance, yes, we do get patches of good patches. In terms of results, not so good results. But the harmony in the team is something fantastic that I've seen this season.
Harmony. Oh wow,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Good teamwork. The players are getting on with each other. I think especially that trip to Terengganu. I think that was. I'm not sure if you went, but like
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard a lot of good things about that trip. I think the players bonded really well, which was really good to see. And then they came
Mm,
back. Everyone was buzzing.
correct, correct.
That is something that I think more clubs need to do in order to get the team bonding up. I think we have a question here, Ras. Do you want to
Yeah.
post this question?
I'll pull up this question. Madhu's got another question, but you'll show that later. So this one is from Lingesh Kumar. One question for thoughts. Now that there has been more games in a season, has that taken effect positively or negatively? I understand the poor run, but gives us more time to work. But results-based environment is what the league is at. Do you do you feel it's good to keep the number of games or shorten? Yeah,
Uh, uh,
that's good.
okay. I think there's a big of positive having the more games for the players, as we know that more games will give more playing time, and then will of course at the end of the day improve the players in terms of performance on the pitch. And then, of course, if we were to compare ourselves and to players in Europe, you can see that they are playing 50, 60 games per season.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then if you compare to us, where we have been playing only just 14 games, 18 games all along. So that extra 40 games does make a lot of difference when we are to compete at the international level. So I think having more games is beneficial for the players itself and also for us coaches to improve ourselves also.
Well, would you prefer having more teams in the league
Yes,
rather
rather
than
than more games.
more games?
I think it'd be good to have more teams so that we have more quality in terms of improving the players' quality itself. And then, of course, having more teams, then you create more job opportunity for everyone, lah.
Mm.
Players, staff,
Coaches,
and
yeah,
coaches, stuff. Yep.
yeah. So this
And
is
then this is
oh,
Madhu's question. Yeah, let's go Madhu's question.
yeah. Okay. So this is Madhu's question. A bit light-hearted. What's the head coach's favorite food? This is not
He
your favorite food, but head
No, the
coaches.
head coaches.
he is everything. So one of the thing I Balestier that we always joke around is that Coach Akbar have a time sheet of checking in and checking out to go for breakfast, lunch, supper, tea breaks, dinner.
I was
Fun,
actually
actually, fun fact: when I came in last Sunday, so I came in early for
Mhm.
the Balestier Invitational Series. So I came in early to the office, and then guess what? Coach Akbar is doing, having
Eating.
lunch. And he had quite a hearty meal, nasi padang and all. So
Hey,
yeah,
Ras,
speaking
remember
about
he
that.
was actually quite happy when I actually, a couple of games back, I said he actually lost weight.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I think that made his day,
Yeah.
regardless of what the result was whatsoever. But I told him, hey, coach, I think you lost weight a little. That made his day. I think I actually scored some points with him.
With him. Very
Okay,
good.
but coming back to football,
Yeah.
right now. Based on your experience analyzing
Mhm.
all the teams in the SPL in general, because I believe you watch probably all the teams when you
Yeah.
play them. Do you see an improvement from the SPL teams this season?
I think, yeah, in terms of quality wise, we do see an improvements in terms of how team plays. Like for example, at the start of the season, you see how Hougang tried to play a different kind of football
Right.
to build up from the back, and then of course we know that Geylang itself is always an aggressive team going forward in terms of how they press high up the pitch. And then of course we cannot be discounted for LB Rex as much as they are new batch of players coming in
Right.
with Coach Yoshinaga, which we respect highly. He creates a winning team
Right.
and creating
Right.
that winning mentality for the players, which is what I love to see whenever I watch LBX is how they always goes in at 100%, how they chase back, how
Right.
they help each other to create that winning atmosphere within the club itself. And then of course with Sailors, everybody tries to beat Sailors now
They're
because
the team to beat.
yeah, it's a team to beat. So I think it's good that we try to help ourselves to increase the performance in the pitch itself.
Right,
Yep.
right, right. Talking about the Albrecht's coach, it's such a
Mhm.
pity that I actually thought that they would give him the top job for the Singapore national team, but it's such a pity that he didn't get that role. I think he would probably go in and create something different for the national team. But then again, that's my opinion. That's a
Mhm.
conversation for another time. Um, Razif, if you
Yep.
were given a role, I know you have some kind of role in the FAS, but let's say for a real good reason you became
Hypothetical reasons.
no, not hypothetical. He might become the president of the FAS.
Wow.
You might never know. In the near future. Let's say given the role as the president of the FAS, or what would you do for the league, or what would you do for Singapore football?
Well, I think it'd be quite a big role to handle it, to be
Or what's the
honest.
first thing? What's the first thing you would address?
Well, what's the first thing I think for me is that if I'm the president of the FA, I would want my stakeholders to be in line with what I want to spearhead. So for
Right.
example, if I want to create this goal 2034, right? So I
Right.
want everyone to have the same line with me, like what Coach Agawa said. As much as I draw a line is a straight line, even if this is a straight line, even if this is a straight line, everybody have to be in line with me to say that yes, we are going through the straight line. So it cannot be a disjointed that I have these ideas, then somebody else, another stakeholder have another ideas. So if we
Right.
can have, for me, if we want to spearhead something, we have to go all out and do it.
Right, right, right. So
Yeah,
everybody has to be that one vision, one collaborative, unit
One
going
energy.
towards one goal, one energy.
yeah,
Yeah. So
correct.
that's a lot of make a lot of sense. We have a nice comment for you.
Coach Razif for Singapore coach from Muhammad Rizwan Maidin. And Lingesh, I
And
think he
oh,
agrees as well. Through that, team and stakeholders have to be in unison.
Mm,
yes, I think that's probably what's lacking in the game. And then I think if everyone is on the same page, we can definitely grow Singapore footballers. So many talented players
yeah.
in our country. Although we are a small country, so many of the players here are so talented, which is
Hmm.
great to watch. Going back to you, Russ.
Do you have any questions you want to play with him? Any quizzes,
No, I do not
challenges?
have. I do not have any challenges for this week. I thought this week
Okay.
because we want to pick his brain on because I think he's so highly regarded in the local scene that we actually want to focus
Yeah,
on
but
picking his
I
brain
have
first.
something.
Oh, Ras,
I
of
have
course.
I
Oh,
have a quick fire for him. So, Razif, I'm not sure if you've watched our previous episodes, but generally, I always have a quick fire for our whoever's a guest on the
okay.
show. So, I'm going to ask you some personal questions, your likes and dislikes. Favorite
Mhm.
food,
Chicken rice.
chicken rice, okay. Favorite drink,
Favorite drink, teh ice.
tea ice, okay. Do you like to watch movies or series?
Movies.
Movies, okay. Anything you're
Yeah.
watching right now?
No.
Yeah, I'd
No
probably think
time.
you
Now,
would. I
now
think
you
Yeah,
only
that
got
I,
me.
or
probably
maybe the last one was Thor. I think the last one was Thor.
okay.
Yeah,
Favorite football club?
Arsenal.
Arsenal. Okay.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice jersey they got this season.
yeah,
I think they got
Uh,
like.
yeah, I can see that in the corner there. Arsene Wenger.
Is it Arsene Wenger? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
right.
Favorite female celebrity?
Wow, Jessica Alba.
Okay.
Ooh.
Favorite Malay artist?
Wow, favorite Malay artist. Well, no idea when.
No idea. Okay.
Myself.
There is something there. Yeah, we're going to stop over there later. There is something there.
Razif
Yeah.
went straight to the point.
Favorite music genre?
Anything easy.
Okay, light
Yeah,
and easy. Yeah.
yeah, like an
You
easy.
like the music that's been played in the dressing room?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the dressing room music?
No, I don't actually get into the dressing room when the players are in. So we always leave it to them to have their own minds, to have their own mind, whatever to. So I always be outside, either with Coach Akbar going for a tea, or just at the stadiums, sitting down and then just absorbing the atmosphere.
Okay.
Right, right.
Yeah,
All-time favorite player?
Dennis Bergkamp.
Oh, what a player.
And I mean, this is the World Cup year. Do you have a favorite international team when it comes to World Cups?
I think I've been growing up as being supporting Germany.
Germany. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's from the 90s, I believe.
yep, 90s. Lonta
Your
Matthäus
favorite,
time.
Lothar
Yeah,
Matthäus. Favorite era to live in?
favorite probably 70s.
70s. Okay. And
Bell bottoms, 70s.
yeah, 70s bell bottoms. I mean, I gotta admit, it's really a cool time. You know, when you look back at images from the 70s or pictures or videos,
Yeah,
whatever, the
it's
even the
happening.
players that were playing at that time, they look very cool with their hair and they could
Yeah,
wear like long chains and play. It was amazing, crazy. They had these beards, afros. They all look really
yeah.
cool. So yeah, gotta agree with you on that. So now, if you could recreate a goal, which goal would it be?
Oh, I've been recreating a lot of goals. I think one of the goals that is the Terrendi goals against Menu, the flick
Which
Oh,
one?
and the
The
volley.
flick
flick
and
and
the
volley.
volley, or
Okay, okay,
against
okay.
Fabian Barthez, I
Yeah,
remember.
And
yeah.
then
So
he went
I
the
did I
butts
did a
up.
lot. I did that a lot of time actually
Oh,
while I was playing, either at street soccer or with my
uh,
friends. So every time we get that opportunity, I just recreate and recreate and recreate. Yeah,
okay. And your favorite manager, Wenger, I
favorite
believe.
as a Wenger. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever met him?
Nope.
No. Okay. So
Yeah.
now that leads me quite nicely to the next point, whatever I'm going to speak about next. So you've
Mhm.
been coaching for a very long time at various schools, academies, FAS as well, and that's something
Mhm.
that's ongoing. As different SPL clubs, and now of course you're at Balestier. Probably you've had two SPL clubs that you've coached at, Tampines Rovers and Geylang International. Is that right?
Yep. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So
So Tampines
how
was
did
the
this?
COE teams.
Okay. So how did this
Yeah. Sorry.
opportunity come about, where you go and get yourself accredited with this UEFA A license?
Wait, before
I
you answer that, are you the highest?
Yeah, highest
Is this
qualified local
UEFA A
coach here.
license the highest qualified coach in Singapore?
No. They have the UEFA Pro license. That's the highest to coach at the national team in the Premier Leagues. So A license is just a normal UEFA A license. In Singapore maybe probably, but I think there are some Singaporeans also who does
Okay.
courses, yeah, who does
Okay.
studies in the UK where they provide the UEFA pathway
Oh,
also.
interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So this A license means which level can you coach at if you are in Europe?
probably Division One, EPL. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
EFL, you
so
mean?
yeah, yeah. So it depends on which country you are in. So probably, but the one at the top level, if you are going for the UEFA competitions, then you need the pro license.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And right now in Singapore, probably you are the only one that have this A license.
Yeah.
As a local, yeah. I think as a local, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Interesting. Interesting.
Very,
Fantastic, man.
very
So
well done.
okay, so going back,
Yeah.
I went for the course. I took the UEFA B. I took the UEFA B in 2015.
Mm.
Um, Probably yep, in 2015. So uh, and then it's only 25 get selected to go for the course. So I took my
Oh,
UEFA in Ireland. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
right.
yeah.
Is that
So
all
You
on
there,
a
actually went. You actually went there, or it was a Zoom
yep,
thing, or oh, you
actually
actually
went
went
there.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. How was that experience?
Oh, is something eye opening for me. So as a player, as a coach, myself. So like of course I've been working with the FA or in and out of the FAs, helping out and then traveling with the FAs, doing coaching and then to travel to Laos also. So but to see how coaches in Europe thinks and how courses being conducted is a big difference in how things are back here in
Mm.
terms of how we are trying to educate the coaches here.
And was that all on your own accord? That means nobody sponsored you. You paid on your own. You put
Yep,
in the
I did.
application on your own.
I put all the applications on my own. Only at the back end, I got the Sports SG grants to for the travel in terms of traveling and lodging.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So, what do you need to pass through to get this A license? What like was there like a audition sort of thing that you have to present some methodology or some philosophy you have around coaching, and then they see and they assess and they say, okay, you pass. Now you can enter this course. Is that how it works?
Yep. So one of the criteria was to actually work with a professional team to be in line with the course. And then, of course, there are interviews they have to go through Zoom's interviews. And then, of course, asking about the philosophy, what's my playing philosophy, what's my idea, what's my vision for the next 5 years, 10 years. So
Mm.
there are lots of criteria for them to look at in terms of coaching because, of course, for their part is also to bring in international coaches in. You have to create a good dynamics where their local coaches can learn from also.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the A license, was it in Ireland as well?
yeah, in Ireland as well. So I got that. I did that in 2017, and then got it completed in 2021 because of COVID. So for that part, the assessment part, I sent in the videos, training videos, and then with audio, with subtitles, everything in for them to assess.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any famous classmates?
Uh, who do I have? Kudichini. Then I
Okay.
have Damien Duff.
Oh,
Okay.
Damon Duff
Uh,
was there. Okay.
yeah, and we had Wayne Hennessy from I think
Wayne
Wolf.
Hennessy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
The goalkeeper, right? Wayne
Yeah.
Hennessy.
Go.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
So it's interesting when we had talks on training sessions, and then they were saying, oh, if you are creating these drills for the players in at elite level, it could be a bit boring for them, or it doesn't make
Oh,
sense for them. So
Mm.
like Damien Duff, so we had Damien Duff. So I have talked to him a lot of times, so asking him about his training, what's the difference between at Chelsea and then at
right.
Celtic on the side. So he was saying that with Chelsea's, so the top managers are very into detail on how sessions will be like catered to individual players.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are a lot of details. So like just for example, like we've been used to say a crossing exercise just comes in. Okay, you pass the ball to the sides, get into the box, one near post, one back post, and then just cross the ball. So
Right.
for him, he says the difference the top level is that when you make the pass, you have to look how is the first touch, and then when you make the run, you make a slow run towards the penalty spots, and then when you start to check is when the players control the first ball, and then you start to check and run, and then of course making that contact with another striker on who goes to the near post and back post, and then of course the timing of run when he wants to cross the ball, where do you make the extra movements to get in front of the defenders.
Wow.
So
Wow.
they broke down into very, very
Oh my
smallest detail.
god. And
Yeah,
then when you watch in a live gameplay, you just like, hey, why did fella never run earlier?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you just like, oh
So
my
like the
god.
videos you see, like people like there's some video where the striker just comes in front and then goes to the back,
Yes,
movement like
yes.
Ronaldo's cutting in, cutting out. So those actually the little details that they are sharing with us in training that these players are doing.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
Wow, man, that's
Interesting.
quite an eye opener. So now
Yeah.
coming back to local football,
Mhm.
you have an academy called Kickoff Academy. What is it all
Mhm.
about?
Okay, so for kickoff is an academy that I started with my partner, so that we are looking at like players, youth at risk, players from disadvantaged families. So what we create is that we create a low cost budget football where we
Mm,
train them on open fields, parks and stuff. But we want to give them the best outcome. So like for example, that for kickoff we gather in some sponsors for us to go overseas to play tournaments where these kids doesn't have that opportunity if they are playing on their own lah. One thing.
mm.
So it's more about explorations, giving them their dreams that if they can't make it into a top grade professional football, at least from our side, that we give them this opportunity that they can play football in the neighboring countries.
Okay, I
Right,
got
Yeah.
right.
some question here from
Mm.
Lingesh again. If I can throw a spanner in the works, I feel that in terms of coaching aspect, there is a good infrastructure in Singapore. But do you think it's the same for ref? As a coach, I'm sure you have sentiments towards our refs in the league. What do you think can be done? Maybe something like a cohesion event between coaches and ref.
I feel no lah. I think in terms of the infrastructure in Singapore, of course, is good. But for the referee departments, of course, they have their own ways on how they view things are. And then, of course, I spoken to some of the referees, and yes, their training is actually quite tough. Uh,
Right.
referee have their own trainings. So we are looking also now at how the referees are doing their fitness test and trying to bring it to the players, and looking at some of the premier clubs who already been using the 30-15-30 fitness testing. So it's actually quite tough to be a referee. So instead of
Right.
just running here and there, and then of course looking at other things that's happening in the field. So of course we do have our own sentiments on how referees are refereeing the games, but at the end of the day, is back to the same thing. If referee can make mistakes, for us just to tell the players that just focus on the game and do what good for you yourself. So there are
Okay,
things that we can control, we control. Things that we can't control, just try not to focus on that.
yeah, true. Can you share a bit on the fitness trainings that the referee go through?
Yes. The 30, 15, 30 and
So
stuff.
for the referees, I'm not. I think they have that single, double, single sprints where they have to run on like a yo-yo test where they do it one time and then come back double and then do it a single time, and then they have a time base where they do the 30 15 30s or 15 30 15s. So those kind of fitness tests are actually more like the intermittent runs, similar to what we are doing for the players in the yo-yo test, but more of the running of changing of directions. And then I think for the referees, they do have their own courses and stuff to upgrade themselves, where they get the referees all in together. I think I spoke to Malik before. Then he said referee do a course, maybe once a week or stuff, and then getting ideas on how the leagues have been running, and then in terms of improving, in terms of giving opportunities to everyone to be the AR, to be the referees, and then they recreate scenarios in trainings where
Okay.
to look at falls and stuff like that. So I think in terms of training wise, they do have their own structure on how is being done.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So Kickoff Academy is it's something like a based charity slash social based academy. That's what sets you apart from all the other academies that are running in Singapore, right?
Correct, correct. So it's always for me is to give back to what I've been taught, and then can we just give this knowledge back to the players at the cost at the low cost. Actually, the cost is just to cover the players' equipments, jerseys. So we give them a
Alright.
ball each to bring home, And then, of course, going for tournaments, they are not paying any amount, like unless we are going to overseas, where before COVID, we went to Malacca, and then the players just paid $100 fee just for administrative fees. So the rest, like transportation, the accommodations, tournament fees, everything will be paid for by ourselves, by
Oh, is
me and
it?
the
Nice.
coaches. Yeah.
Very
Okay.
nice. Very
No,
nice.
no sponsors.
We try to get sponsors in lah. So like for, let's say, small trips like that, we try to get maybe about 10 sponsors that can give us about $100. Then with more sponsors, you get more bigger money lah. So I'm not looking at like one sponsors giving us 10,000
Yeah.
kind. I want to create more like you see smaller sponsors coming in, like those home base families that comes in, and then to give them exposures also, and to help them improve their own business also.
I got to say, very good initiative, man, Razif. Very, very good.
Thank
It's the
you,
first
thank
Yeah,
time
you.
that was something
seeing
that
that.
caught my eye when you
Yeah.
were appointed. So I added you as friend, and then I saw that this academy that you're running. I think that's really nice of you to be doing this. So this Art Samsudin has given you two thumbs up. Not sure if you know him, but yeah.
On a lighter note, so Razif, man,
Yeah.
you are. I mean, you are a jack of all trades. I feel like performance analyst, assistant coach now.
Coach.
You are also running an academy, UEFA A Pro license, and you had a stint as an actor as well. Oh my God! Like that's why, like we mentioned earlier, Russ, he was like, "Okay,
Uh,
is it me?" He was talking about himself. So talk to me about it, Razif. How long was that for, and what were you acting in?
oh, okay. So I did my diploma in LaSalle
Mm.
Okay.
in filming in film. So there was something that unexpectedly I wanted to do. But I was in LaSalle actually wanted to take interior designer
Okay.
course, but then somehow the course film opens up. So as a new course. So I just took it up and then just say, okay, maybe this is something interesting to just go out there and learn and just get the diploma out the easiest way. Yeah. So, but I was playing in the Prime League with Woodlands Wellington at that time,
Okay.
and so it was a bit of like training trials kind. So I got an offer in Malaysia to act. So I have to go through auditions and stuff like that. So I was actually on holiday with my friends. So just went down, speak to my friends, and then there's an auditions he invited me to go to. And then through that auditions on the spot, they offered me a contract, and then to act in the 13 episode drama for the Malaysia side. So, but I
Wait, wait,
told,
Was
wait.
it on
Just
Astro?
like that.
yeah, just like
Astro.
that. Yeah, for no,
Oh,
that was for the RTM one
RTL. Okay.
back then.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was,
wow.
I think, just before, about just before NS, a year before NS. So about maybe 2007, kind. So I was in
Okay.
my final year of diploma in LaSalle. So that thing happened. So just nice that once I finished school, I went up just for a holiday while playing for
Yeah.
Woodlands, and then I got that offer. So I just took that opportunity lah, and then just play football for once, which
And
I
what
think should.
Wow.
what's the name of the drama?
Oh, actually, I work for the contract that I signed is for this uh Julie Dalan production house. So at that time they had this comedy drama where I'm one of the actors. So it's called the Cinta Dalam Sebiji Durian.
Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
so it's
An
just about
interesting title.
love story where
Revolving
I'm
around the durian.
yeah, around durian. So there are various characters where students from the campus were going around looking for partners to bring to the gala show.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Interesting, interesting. What a
Nice.
turn of events! Oh my God, imagine that. Like you imagine your friend asked you to go for the audition, and you just like, hey man, no man, I'm a bit lazy and stuff. But you actually went for that audition, which is any memorable memory, any memorable experience you had from acting in that series.
I think a lot, like, okay, there are one this quite a famous actress that I was told to pair with to act. So like it's just a where you know when we actors we just go through the dialogues and just read what's on the dialogue
Yeah.
on the scripts, and then this actress, a big time actress, just spontaneously asked me, say,
What's her
because
name?
I forget to wear, uh, is the late Maimun Mutalib.
Okay.
So it's a scene where I work as a cook, so I
Mm.
forget to wear an apron to cook.
Okay.
So she will just say, "Hey, my character was that time was what Radin." So he just asked me, "Radin, where's your apron?" So for me, I know it's my part where I know shit. I did not. I forget to wear that apron.
Yeah.
Right.
It's part of the scene. Then I just told her off like spontaneously. Say, "Oh, my apron is just in the fridge, so that when customer comes, I just take it out and cools everybody down when the customer comes in." Then after that, spontaneously, she said, "Wow, this is the first time that people actually reply back to my spontaneous act." Then
Oh, so was
that
it
that
all?
yeah,
It was not scripted. That
yeah,
means.
it's not scripted. It's not
Oh,
scripted.
right.
So from then on, I get a few jobs offered through her also, where she recommended me to
Oh,
other
nice.
productions. Yeah,
Nice, 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 nice. So were there other stuff you did, or just this one series you did?
there are a few other stuff also I did. So on the back end,
Okay.
Wow,
yeah. Then
What
coming back
amazing.
else?
into
What?
coming back to Singapore, I did a Chinese film.
Okay.
I
Oh,
think yeah, it's a ghost story. I think a ghost story, just an
oh,
extra. Yeah.
Ah.
So because my friend was in the productions, so I have to just help out and then acted in that production, which is cool because I get to play as a drug
oh.
gang. So we get shots, we got blood spill out from our body and stuff like that. So a bit of stuntman kind of thing.
Salvage.
So it was
Oh my
fun.
It's a
Yeah,
god.
ghost movie, is it?
yeah, it's a ghost movie.
Okay.
Right,
Is
right.
it like a horror comedy or is it?
Horror comedy. I can't
Okay.
remember the name.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't
oh
remember the
my
title.
god.
All right.
yeah.
You should.
So crazy, so crazy. So not only an actor, man, you also have something you do on top of your Ras, this guy, next thing you know, he will have his own podcast as well. I was like, hey guys, by the way, I have my own podcast. I would like to feature you guys as well. So right now, so I know the acting part is probably, you put it on the back burner, but
Mm.
besides being a coach and all the fun stuff, you are also a property agent. So how long have you been one, and how is that life coming along for you?
For the property part, I just got myself qualified this year, early this
Oh,
year,
right.
maybe somewhere
Congratulations.
February, March. Yeah, quite. And so it was because of COVID. So I see, I just opened up my what they have that grant thing, like the $500 grant thing, Skill Future grants.
Skills
So I
future,
Ah.
just
yeah.
look, yeah, and so I just looking around at Skill Future, say, during COVID, what can I do just to kill my time off? During this, just say, hey, there's this property agents. Okay, just click and go and just learn. So
Mm.
because the rest of the things are in terms of teaching wise, there are a lot of soft skills where you can learn yourself and
Right,
stuff like that.
right,
And then in terms of IT stuff, gadget stuff, I think more or less you can learn that in the internet, and then you need the resources to just learn and play. Where I'm good at lah. So in terms of uh, plug and play stuff, I think it's
right.
easy for me to do it. So I don't need a course for that. So maybe this RES property agent stuff is just something okay. I just go through the course and then just go through it once and see if I pass. If you fail, then just forget about it and just move on.
Mm.
Yeah,
But you passed.
yeah, I
So,
pass.
so
So
forget
now,
about the failing part. You passed. So,
yeah.
what's happening now?
So now, I try to get leads in terms of helping people getting properties and stuff like that. So like
Right.
for now, trying to help a friend buying and selling a house and stuff like
Nice.
that on my free time. So most of the time, the free times comes in the evening or
Right.
weekends. Yeah.
Mm.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
So are
away,
we
away,
Probably.
are we
away from
into
work lah,
your
away
free
from
time now?
working hours. Yep, a lot of time in the evening.
Yeah. So are we eating into your free time now? Would you be
No, no, no.
normally going out house
No, I
viewing
tell
or
you,
something?
No,
next he will get a brilliant idea to have his own podcast now.
no, I think podcast I leave it to you guys and Deepens and stuff to do all the podcasts. Like now, no, because I already scheduled all the viewings on Mondays and Tuesdays. So I got
Okay.
myself. So Wednesday usually it's quite a busy day for me with
Okay.
coachings and stuff. like that. And then for the kids, going to Kumons, going to their phonics classes, and then
All
just
right.
to backend lah, yeah, for
Right.
family time. Yeah.
And then
Okay,
a
cool.
family man as well on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh man, Razif,
So
you're
this
amazing, bro.
there's this guy
This, look
Khairuddin
at that.
Mustafa. He say he's an all-rounder lah. This coach. Respect, respect from Khairuddin. All right.
Yeah.
Before we go, Razif, are you open to any acting opportunities right now, or you've closed that shop?
I think just 2 days ago, somebody just gave me a call and asked me
Oh,
if I wanted to act in a series. So then also just a few bits. The series, the Ana
yeah,
Metropolitan 4, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So I also got offers to come in to act, but it
Hmm.
doesn't turn out lah for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything from Malaysia?
Nature wise, not yet, but I do still keep contact with friends over there.
All
And
right.
Okay.
then yeah, so sometimes also just ask around like for the auditions and stuff like that. So they still keep in touch and tell me if I want to come over, just contact them and stuff like that.
Right,
Okay.
right, right.
So
Yeah.
before we go, there's one last question
Mhm.
we got from Lingesh again. He's been really active today. Sorry, I'm bothering you with lots of questions, but since now I know you have a bit of media knowledge, if hypothetically speaking, if there is exclusive S League and NFL magazine created, would you like something like that to exist, or feel that we are not ready yet, and or there is enough podcasts around?
Wow, this is by the way, Lingesh, thank you so much for all your questions coming in today. Really,
Yeah,
really
man.
good
Ish.
questions coming in. Thank you for that. Razif,
Uh
any thoughts on
yeah.
this?
So okay, so I travel a lot for football, right? So like I traveled to Laos with Coach Sundram back then, and then of course I was the interim women's team coach
Oh,
a few years back. So we traveled to Tajikistan.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, we traveled to Tajikistan. What was really impressive for me is that in Tajikistan they have posters of players of the national teams like for every 50 meters of the lamppost.
Okay.
Wow.
So they really create that feeling that we have a football team kind of stuff. And that was I think after they won the a youth tournament for Tajikistan. So there are a
Okay.
lot of hype in footballs, and then it's quite surprising also in Dushanbe when we were traveling in the bus that I see a lot of futsal pitch, street soccer pitch, and then
Mm.
football pitch scattered around in about 100-meter radius in the
Wow.
household areas. Yeah. So and then
Okay.
we were just walking down the hotels to a mini shop down the floor. Then kids were playing football at the sides and stuff like that. They were shouting like, "Oh, a local player name." So they were creating the same. So
Oh, right.
we managed. Yeah. So a lot of hypes been going on to help actually how the country evolve in the football. Then
Mm.
I found out that the presidents, the sons or what is the FA presidents of the football, Tajikistan football. So maybe
Mm.
that's why they have a lot of football stuff. So going back to this, if there's an exclusive S League NFL magazines, I think it'd be very helpful for the players. I think some clubs, maybe sellers have already have done it
Right,
now.
right. They have,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. So like we said, in Europe you have magazines being sold during on games day, where you can see what's happening around the clubs and stuff like that. I think that can help elevate our football in terms of exposures for the publics and stuff. In terms of
That's like
podcast wise, of course, yeah, a lot,
pre-game
a lot.
programs, lah, right?
Program
Mhm, yep,
programs.
yep.
Yeah.
I think we used to have that. I think Abang Mus tried to create a magazines on local footballs
Mm.
a few years back. So I'm not sure it's still ongoing. Something like the 442 magazines
Was it called
for
Right.
local.
Kickoff?
Yeah, I think it's kickoff, right?
Yeah, I think I remember that as
Yeah,
well. It was back in the 90s, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah, we Singapore used to have that,
Mm,
and then it died down,
correct.
unfortunately. Yeah. So yeah, you were saying about podcasts.
Yeah, I think podcast wise, I think we've seen a lot or we hear a lot. There
Mhm.
are a lot of popping up podcasts talking about
Yeah.
footballs, our footballs also. And then, which is also quite interesting for me as a coach, is just to listen to feedbacks of players, feedbacks of the fans on how they view the teams. Sometimes I
Mm,
listen to podcasts and then talking about how Balestier been performing, what can we improve, all those kind of stuff. So
mm,
it's quite good for us as a coach also to be open to learnings
Right.
from or getting views from outside.
okay,
Yep.
Right.
cool. All right. I hope you listen to our podcast as well in the future. Okay, Razif, thanks a lot for taking your time to speak to us and
No
sharing
worries.
so much of knowledge that you have gained over the years, your experiences as well, and everyone else. Okay, one more comment. It's by our coach, Pat Samsudin. So
One of my
yeah,
trainee coach.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
no wonder.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Kel, you got any final words?
So, Razif, just before we go, any message to the Balestier listeners listening in today? Any shout outs or anything you want to say?
I think result wise, it's been tough for us. I think, but I can say just stick with us. We try to turn things around. If the results doesn't goes much well on the pitch, we hope that we can improve the performance of the players, the team. Then hopefully that this will be a long run things where the performance in the pitch can elevate the more fans to come in to watch Balestier play football.
Hmm.
Right, right.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. I wish a good
Okay.
end to the season as well for Balestier.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And all the best for the big game LCS.
On
Uh,
Saturday, yeah, 5:30
on
p.m. at Jalan Besar Stadium.
That is
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We want to a good fight this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, you guys play with pride as well.
Yep.
Do your best. I think that's all you can do. You do your best, and whatever will be will be. Hopefully, you get a rub of green. I think like as you mentioned, we've not had much luck, so maybe some
Yeah.
luck comes our way as well in this game. So yeah, hopefully, wishing the best to the team.
Thank you.
So you got Lingesh again. Thanks and best
Thanks,
wishes to your
Lingesh.
coach MM,
Thank you.
and thanks guys. Welcome Lingesh. This one was from Mahmoud Mu Say, one of the best, right? Okay, he is indeed one of the best. Okay, so it's me Raz signing out. Cheers.
Thanks, Mikhail.
See
Thank
you.
you.
Ala Tigers.